1. Interior of the Earth, 7th, Geography, Term 1, Lesson 1. I choose the correct answer. 1. Knife is made up of A. Nickel and ferrous, B. Silica and aluminum, C. Silica and magnesium, D. Iron and magnesium. 2. Earthquake and volcanic eruption occur near the edges of A. Mountain, B. Plains, C. Plates, D. Plateaus. 3. The magnitude of an earthquake is measured by A. Seismograph, B. Richter scale, C. Ammeter, D. Rotameter. 4. The narrow pipe through which magma flow out is called A. Vent, B. Crater, C. Focus, D. Caldera. 5. Lava cones are A. Mountains of accumulation, B. Mountains of deformation, C. Relic mountains, D. Fold mountains. 6. The top of the cone of a volcanic mountain has a depression known as the A. Crater, B. Lopith, C. Caldera, D. Sill. 7. A. Pacific, B. Atlantic, C. Arctic, D. Antarctic. 2. Fill in the blanks. 1. The core is separated from the mantle by a boundary called Gutenberg discontinuity. 2. The earthquake waves are recorded by an instrument known as seismograph. 3. Magma rises to the surface and spreads over a vast area known as fissure eruption. 4. An example for active volcano St. Helens, USA. 5. Seismology is the study of earthquake. 3. Circle the odd one. 1. Crust, magma, core, mantle. 2. Focus, epicenter, vent, seismic waves. 3. Uttarkashi, Chamoli, Koyna, Krakatoa. 4. Lava, caldera, silica, crater. 5. Stromboli, Helens, Hawaii, Fujiyama. Belt is known as the Ring of Fire. IV. Match the following. 1. Earthquake. 2. Sima. 3. Pacific Ring of Fire. 4. Tsunami. 5. Mount. Kenya. Japanese term. Africa. 5. Sudden movement. 1. Silica and magnesium. 2. World volcanoes. 3. We. Consider the following statement and tick the appropriate answer. 1. Assertion. A. The structure of the earth may be compared to that of an apple. Reason. R. The interior of the earth consists of crust, mantle and core. A and R are correct and A explains R. B. A and R are correct but A does not explain R. C. A is incorrect but R is correct. D. Both A and R are incorrect. 2. Assertion. A. The Pacific Ocean includes 2/3 of the world's volcanoes. Reason. R. The boundary along the eastern and western coast areas of the Pacific Ocean is known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. A and R are correct and A explains R. B. A and R are correct but A does not explain R. C. A is incorrect but R is correct. D. Both A and R are incorrect. V. Answer in a word. 1. Name the outermost layer of the earth. Crust. 2. What is seal? Silica and alumina. 3. Name the movement of the earth's lithospheric plates. Tectonic movements. 4. Give an example of an extinct volcano. Mount Popper of Myanmar. 7. Answer the following briefly. 1. What is a mantle? The layer of the earth beneath the crust is called the mantle. It is separated from the crust by a boundary called Mohorovičić discontinuity. 2. Write notes on the core of the earth. The innermost layer of the earth is called the core. It is also known as barosphere. It is separated from the mantle by a boundary called Gutenberg discontinuity. The core is also divided into 2 parts. The outer core, which is rich in iron, is in a liquid state. The inner core, composed of nickel and ferrous, knife, is solid in state. 3. Define earthquake. A sudden movement of a portion of the Earth's crust which produces a shaking or trembling is known as an earthquake. 4. What is a seismograph? The earthquake waves are recorded by an instrument known as seismograph. 5. What is a volcano? A volcano is a vent or an opening in the Earth's crust through which hot magma erupts from deep below the surface. The opening is usually circular in form. 6. Name the 3 types of volcanoes based on shape. On the basis of shape, there are 3 types of volcanoes. They are shield volcano, cinder cone volcano, composite volcano. 8. Give reason. 1. No one has been able to take samples from the interior of the Earth. The innermost of the Earth is called the core. The central core has very high temperature and pressure, so no one has been able to take samples from the interior of the Earth. 2. The continental crust is less dense than the oceanic crust. Despite greater thickness, the continental crust is less dense than the oceanic crust because it is made of both light and dense rock types. IX. Distinguish between 1. Seal and seamer. Seal. 1. The upper part of the Earth's crust. 2. Has granite rocks and forms continents. 3. Has silica and alumina referred to as seal. Seamer. The lower part of the crust. Continuous zone of denser basaltic rocks forming ocean floor. Has silica and magnesium called seamer. 2. Shield volcano and composite volcano. Shield volcano. 1. A shield volcano is formed by a quiet eruption of lava with a low silica content. 2. E.g. volcanoes of the Hawaii Islands. 3. Active volcano and dormant volcano. Composite volcano. Composite volcanoes are made of alternate layers of lava, cinder and ash. E.g. St. Helens in USA. Active volcano. 1. Active volcanoes erupt frequently. 2. E.g. St. Helens in USA, Pinatubo in Philippines. Dormant volcano. Dormant volcanoes have shown no sign of activity for many years but may become active at any time. E.g. Mount Fujiyama in Japan, Mount Krakatoa of Indonesia. X. Answer the following questions in detail. 1. Write about the effects of an earthquake. 1. Earthquakes may cause changes in the Earth's surface. Vibrations often set landslides in mountainous regions. 2. A greater danger in an earthquake is the falling of buildings. 3. Fire is another great danger. Underground water system is naturally disturbed by such movements. 4. An earthquake which originates below or near the sea causes great disturbance in the water. 5. Tsunami, a Japanese term, is the name given to the huge wave caused in the sea by an earthquake. 2. Describe the classification of volcanoes based on the eruptions. 1. Volcanoes are also grouped according to their periodicity of eruptions such as active, dormant and extinct. 2. These names refer to the state of activity rather than the types of volcanoes. 3. Active volcanoes that erupt frequently are called active volcanoes. Most of the active volcanoes lie in the Pacific Ring of Fire belt, which lies along the Pacific coast. 4. Stromboli in Mediterranean Sea, St. Helens in USA, Pinatubo in Philippines. 5. Dormant volcanoes have shown no sign of activity for many years but they may become active at any time. It is also called sleeping volcano. 6. Mount Vesuvius in Italy, Mount Fujiyama in Japan, Mount Krakatoa of Indonesia are famous examples of this type. 7. Extinct. The top of extinct volcanic mountains have been eroded. Mount Popper of Myanmar and Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya in Africa are examples of extinct volcanoes. 3. Name the major zones of volcanic activity and explain any one. There are 3 major zones of volcanic activities in the world. They are The Circum-Pacific Belt. The Mid-Continental Belt. The Mid-Atlantic Belt. Circumbelt. This is the volcanic zone of the convergent oceanic plate boundary. It includes the volcanoes of the eastern and western coastal areas of Pacific Ocean. This zone is popularly termed as the Pacific Ring of Fire, which has been estimated to include 2/3 of the world's volcanoes. 11. Hots. 1. The Earth's interior is very hot. Why? The innermost layer of the Earth, called the core, has two parts: the outer core and the inner core. The outer core is rich in iron and is in liquid state. The inner core is made of nickel and ferrous, which is in solid state. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. 2. Are volcanoes destructive or constructive? Volcanoes are constructive and destructive. Constructive effects. Volcanoes provide nutrients to the surrounding soil as volcanic ash contains minerals beneficial to plants. Some plateaus and plains are formed due to volcanic eruption. They cool off the earth, removing heat from the interior. Destructive effects. They cause earthquakes, fast floods, mudslides and rock falls. Dust and ash that come out of volcanoes are very harmful to living things. 3. How does volcano make an island? Some volcanoes are found under oceans. If an underwater volcano keeps erupting, it can rise above the ocean's surface and thus an island is formed.